Well, you brought us some creations today. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Oh, these are just all little things that I have laying around the house. I mean, I made that for American Horror Story. There's skulls in here.
This one?
Yeah. It was in a jar. You saw a little close-up of it. I have skulls that I've made throughout the years. We had to make bones float in the water for this movie, We Are What We Are, so we just molded a bunch of foam stuff so it would float down the boat. I just have some zombie masks that I've fabricated throughout the years, whether it be for a movie, for a background piece, or then, and then when I'm done with it, I'm always doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, my day off, I will go down to the basement and make something. Like, I just, I don't have to get paid to make something. I'm always probably a little ADD, so I'll start more things than I finish. I really do also think it's that repetition.
Yeah.
We're only as good as we let ourselves be. So you have to keep practicing. You have to I'll buy new paints or new makeups and just experiment with those and try to let me try this. I just love creating stuff.
Do your neighbors think you're like a serial killer?
Listen, I remember my neighbors think I'm totally freaking weird. Luckily, I've been there longer than them now, so it's like, screw them. But I remember had an actor show up, and I have to do a life cast. So you take a casting material and you cover their face, and then you put a jacket over it, a plaster bandage jacket, so you get a perfect impression of their face. Well, there's this dude, he pulls in my driveway, and I'm like, all right, he's here. I don't want to be that weirdo. Like, he pulls in my driveway, open the door. So I'm like, all right, what's he doing? He's out there smoking a joint. I don't really care about that, but I live in suburbia. So they're sitting in my front driveway, all my neighbors, there he is blowing a joint. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. They already think I'm, like, now I'm the drug dealer in the neighborhood. And he comes in, then he has a panic attack and can't do the life cast. Yeah. And I was like, hey, dude, you have to come back because we have to get this done. Right. So I was like, next time, just don't get high.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird situation to want to be like.
Look, you're a guy that doesn't even know my industry, and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I do that. That's exactly what I was like, dude, just don't come back and get high. You can get high right after.
Yeah, take the acid before you show up next time. We'll see how that goes.
I had another woman, I had to do a chest cast of her. Well, we were doing it in a back room of the house. She just opened the door and went outside topless. I didn't care. But again, I got neighbors, and I don't care. And I'm just like, she was like, oh, I don't mind. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm sure some people showed up. I also had, one time I helped out Dee Schneider from Twisted Sister. He had needed some stuff, and he came over to my house. So all my neighbors in their windows were like, whoa, because they're all older. They were like, holy crap, that's Twisted Sister at my, so there's sometimes some cool things. I do.
Who the hell is this fucking guy Brian over here?
And then every year, like I said, to give back so they know that I'm not a psycho, I do my whole yard up with lights and everything for Halloween, and I give out candy to the little kids, and it's more of an R-rated yard. If anything, people get scared just because there are eviscerated bodies in my front yard. I had another dude once complain that I had a dead body in the yard. He didn't know that it was his daughter that I was just hit up on Facebook. Hey, I need a topless woman to get slaughtered. Do you mind? And so she came up and I cast her body. And, he doesn't know that he was complaining about his own daughter's body.
Oh, my God.
So there are, but, I also am the yard that hey, man, let's go to the guy's house at Halloween that never takes down his Halloween decorations. Yes, I work right in my front driveway. I'm proud of what I do.
Yeah.
I understand it's gross and sick at times, but there is I made it all. It's my art form. Ripped out intestines, I don't want to use sausages for that. I sculpt my intestines and try to, make them look like intestines being ripped out. I try to make everything look as cool as it can. So I love what I do. But yes, all this crap that's here that I brought over is just in my house. So yeah, I have people come over. I mean, now we do it at the shop, but I have my shop basement. So a lot of times I would have tons of people come over and we would do life casts. And
I was gonna say, is there technology that's as advanced that has helped you in this industry?
When I started making life casts, we would use the same, a similar stuff to what you would get from the dentist when you would get your teeth cast for braces. It was called an alginate. Now we use a silicone material, which is once it's on, you can when the alginate, once you take your positive, they call, out of the negative, you take your positive head cast out, which would give you like that head. You'd have that positive of that. The algin is ruined. You get one use out of it. Now there's a different material where it might take a few minutes to set up. It's a little longer, but it's more permanent. You can reuse it again. You like not reuse it again, but you can rerun the mold again.
Right.
So yes, there's tons of aspects of. I used to have to make molds out of fiberglass, which is not the greatest thing. Did I? Oh, I forgot to open the garage door, so now the entire house smells like. Now I'm smarter. I will still have to use it. We'll go outside and make sure that that's appropriate. But there's different materials now that don't need it. They do the same properties of making that mold. So there's safer materials to use.
Yeah. Why would you use fiberglass for anything?
It's just to make molds.
To be used where and what?
If I have to make a body mold or a prop mold, I would like to get the finished mold. When I first started, probably to my detriment, I made a lot. We would make cement molds. It's usually an UltraCal 30 or Hydrocal 30 mold or jacket. That stuff's heavy.
Yeah.
Especially when you first are like, I need this to last my entire career. So that what could have been an inch, you make 6 inches, and now there's 2 pieces of that, and there's something in the middle. You're like, oh my god. So now there's just different materials that do that same principle that I can get my molds out of and pour my positives into that are just way more. They're just friendlier to your back, friendlier to everything. So it's just that aspect of it. Everything gets better. A lot of our materials in sense are, same as like a building material. So, things have improved over the years.
Is there a place where people can go to find all this stuff?
You can go to in New York, there's Manhattan Wardrobe Supply that has a lot of makeup supplies. Alcone is another one, and the Complete Sculptor are all 3 places that I use. There's other ones in LA like Friends Beauty, Nigel's. There's other huge Smooth On is another. You could look them up. But I get a lot of my materials right from the Complete Sculptor there in New York City. Yes, you have to know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you have to go there one day and just check it out and see what you need. There's so many materials that we could do a whole show just on materials that we use.
Right.
But when you get into it, there's tons of makeups. There's cream makeups. There's alcohol makeups. There's certain types of. You can make your own blood. You can buy blood. You can buy blood that doesn't run. That doesn't stain. You can buy blood that, once it's on, it'll dry up but not move, and it'll still look good. You hit it with a little water, everything looks great. There's always these materials. So to give a list of materials, or and that's part of our job. You have to learn. And then what I would say, if you were starting out, production never knows what you need. You will get a budget, and they will tell you they never have enough. Always get something that you don't know how to use. And maybe you can learn how to use that after the job's done. Don't ever buy something that you don't know how to use on the job, because you won't know how to use it and it won't come out right. Yeah. So I always they're not paying me what I'm worth. Well, then I'll add a few more supplies, because they don't see, I can't afford your rate, but I can, what supplies are unlimited. Well, all right. Well, then you don't know what I need. I'm going to order a little extra here and a little extra there. I'll make it up that way. That's how I did it in the beginning. I would literally, build my kit off the jobs. If I knew I wasn't making money. Also, sometimes, you take that job just to get that one picture. I want to do this one makeup.
Yeah.
I never get hired to make somebody old. So I want to do this movie where this guy gets old. Cool. I want to do this one because it has a monster. I don't know how I'm going to do that monster yet, but I know I'm not going to get the amount of money that I wanted it, but I get to do that makeup. As long as I get 3 great pictures, I'm fine with doing that job. So there's aspects which are, you will bend over a little bit more. You'll take it a little bit more in the earlier part of your career. Mm-hmm. I will not do as many jobs now because I don't need to. And that sounds very selfishly, but it's also I think we all know we want our own time. We want some me time. And, this jobs that we have can take up, a lot of our lives too.
Yeah.
So it's I need to pay my bills now, I probably wasn't as smart financially the younger I was, because I just wanted to do this so much. did a couple things around the house and fixed that up, and I did certain things now that I want to maintain that lifestyle. I don't need to chase as much work as I used to. And I think that's a good spot to be in. But when you're first starting, don't say no to anything and try to do as much as you can.
Yeah.